Thank you. It is spooky season, and we are talking about something that is very scary, financial vampires. So what does that mean? Well, let's find out. We have David Jazo with us from Wilde Wealth Management Group. David, thank you for being with us during this spooky season.
Yes.
I've never been so concerned about vampires before.
I love trick-or-treating.
we
I don't know about vampires.
We love the treats and not the tricks.
Right.
So we're going to work around them here. We have three different groups of financial vampires. What kind are they?
There's a couple different kinds. You can have individuals who are financially dependent at times, and sometimes it's about setting boundaries with family members or, on occasion, friends that need a little bit of financial assistance. The other part of financial vampires is kind of the monthly subscriptions that we all kind of have in our lives these days, with whether it be apps or your kind of Netflix subscriptions. Those things kind of add up over time, and sometimes we kind of forget about whether or not we're paying out of pocket or if it's covered by something else, whether it be your phone bill or whatnot that's covering that as an extra benefit for you. And the other part is obviously the fact that people don't really look at their cost. So whether you spend a lot of money over time at Starbucks or at the coffee shop, those things kind of add up because we don't really think about that on a daily basis.
So you're saying about those little treats.
We like to call them
little treats. I mean, it's under $20. You know, you don't think much about it. You had a bad day. I want to start.
The
go
miscellaneous
get my Starbucks.
stuff of life. Yeah.
But those things add up. So that Amazon might be a place to look.
Absolutely. I mean, depending on how you're purchasing, obviously there's Amazon subscriptions that take care of some of the shipping costs. But again, it's simple to take a look at your statement, your credit card statement or your bank statement, and do a little bit of an audit to make sure that you realize what you're paying for, because sometimes there's things that you kind of forget about, whether it be a gym membership, which again, I used to call it the fat tax if you don't go.
Okay.
So sometimes you obviously want to make sure that you're going to commit to it, not only financially, but actually use it. So if you haven't really thought about it in a while, take a look, and it's something that you want to take a look at maybe once a quarter or once, every so often, to see if there's things that you might have signed up for a free trial or a bonus kind of program that eventually kind of renews. So we kind of tend to do a lot of auto pay and auto renewals, but it really shouldn't mean auto pillage, if that makes sense. So
it's very convenient, and I even think, especially this time of year, the convenience of something. Throwing it in a cart and having it delivered within 24 hours becomes very kind of habitual as far as getting life accomplished and having the things that we need. But also, you're just throwing a little extra. A little extra.
Oh, you need the extra
now that's
that they
how
suggest.
much money.
And it all adds up. And when I was just going back to like using the coffee analogy, depending if you go to the coffee shop and you spend, let's say, $4 or $5, I don't know what coffee cost these days. It's
you brew your own.
I do brew my
own.
Well, we have a coffee machine. But at the end of the day, like you take a look at $4 or $5 a day, whether it be 5 days a week, and then over a month. That's about $1,000+ a year that you're spending. And when you take a look at the long-term impact of that $1,000, where you could be redeploying that, let's just say you invested it and got a 6% return over the next 20 years. That's about $40,000 of money that you could have had.
And we're entering a very spendy season. It's spooky for many reasons. So this is the perfect time to take a look at what is going out, making sure it's serving us. What else can we do to combat these financial vampires? Well,
I think having communication with your family, also, again, having everybody on the same page. If you have a goal and not everybody's on the same page, it becomes very difficult to really meet those goals financially. So I think it's just having those conversations about what the budget is, if there is a budget. Take a look at doing kind of an audit, if you will. And I think that the biggest thing with kind of vampires, again, they don't like the light, right? So the idea is
hide in the dark.
They like to hide in the dark. So they do a lot of these expenses and costs. So shining the light on it will kind of get rid of the vampires, if you will. Kind of expose that and take a look at what you're doing in a little bit more detail. Doesn't mean you have to cancel everything, but maybe you pause things or you renegotiate when those things come up for renewal. Those are good things to kind of keep in mind. And using technology, there's a lot of apps now that can remind you, and even in some cases turn off some of those subscriptions for you, so you don't have to have the hassle of going through and canceling those things. But at the same time, take a look at setting calendar reminders or giving yourself enough latitude to say, am I really using this, or are there other things that I could be spending this money.
And it feels really good when that money goes back in your own pocket. So
Absolutely.
you know, keep that money at bay from the vampires. Yes. I appreciated that verbiage with that. So thank you for being creative. Thank you, David.
You're very
Great
welcome.
to see you.
You too.